multi-domain combat involves a saturation of kinetic weapons. In any high-intensity engagement, hundreds of individual trajectories from different systems cross the same battle space simultaneously. Analyzing these defense architectures requires look past this immediate chaos and applying a strict taxonomic framework to the hardware involved. This mind map organizes every major system into a single taxonomy. The structure branches into 4 primary categories based on the underlying engineering and mission profiles of the weapons. Those categories are cruise missiles, air defense and interceptors, combat or target missiles, and ballistic missiles. Understanding the technical boundaries between these 4 branches provides the necessary baseline for any deeper analysis of strike and defense capabilities. The first branch of the taxonomy covers cruise missiles. A cruise missile is defined by sustained aerodynamic flight within the atmosphere. It functions as an unmanned, single-use aircraft, relying on wings and air-breathing engines to stay aloft. This aerodynamic capability allows the weapon to navigate complex terrain and follow non-linear paths to a target, rather than following a fixed arc. The BGM-109 Tomahawk is the standard example of a long-range cruise system. These systems are typically launched from ground or maritime platforms to provide strategic standoff capabilities over thousands of miles. By contrast, the AGM-158 JASSM represents the air-launched variant of the cruise missile branch. The JASSM is categorized specifically as an air-launched cruise missile designed to be carried and released by combat aircraft. Using an aircraft as the launch platform provides the missile with high initial speed and altitude, which significantly extends its effective strike range. The cruise missile classification includes systems that prioritize precision, maneuverability, and endo-atmospheric range over raw speed. The second branch moves to air defense and interceptors. These systems are reactive. Their singular architecture is engineered to track, engage, and destroy incoming kinetic threats launched by an adversary. We subdivide this category by intercept profiles, which are determined by the atmospheric altitude the system is designed to defend. At the highest tier, the THAAD system provides specialized defense against ballistic missiles. THAAD interceptors engage targets at the extreme edge of the atmosphere as they begin their final descent toward a target. The middle tier is occupied by the PAC-3 MSE, part of the Patriot missile family. This is a standard air defense interceptor, tasked with neutralizing aircraft and lower-altitude missile threats. At the lowest altitude tier, we find the FIM-92 Stinger. The Stinger is a man-portable air defense system, or MANPADS. It provides localized, highly mobile defense for infantry units on the move. Interceptor classification depends on the environmental envelope, the altitude and speed of the specific threat the system is engineered to neutralize. We turn now to the third taxonomic branch, combat or target missiles. These are tactical assets classified by the physical domains they bridge, specifically where they are launched and where their target is located. The AGM-114 Hellfire serves as a primary example of the air-to-ground matrix. Air-to-ground systems use specialized guidance packages, such as lasers or millimeter-wave radar, to strike armored targets against complex ground clutter. For air-to-air engagements, the taxonomy includes systems like the AIM-120 AMRAAM. The primary engineering requirement for air-to-air classification is extreme aerodynamic agility, allowing the missile to intercept maneuvering aircraft. The final tactical subdomain involves anti-ship operations. The AGM-84 Harpoon is a standard bearer for the anti-ship classification. Anti-ship missiles utilize sea-skimming trajectories, flying at very low altitudes to stay beneath naval radar horizons until they reach their target. The design of a combat missile, from its sensor payload to its flight profile, is dictated by the 2 operational domains it connects. The final branch of the taxonomy is the ballistic missile. A ballistic missile follows a high, arching parabolic trajectory. This separates it from cruise missiles, which rely on sustained lift to stay airborne. During the initial powered flight phase, the missile's engine burns to push the weapon into the upper atmosphere. Once the engine cuts out, the weapon enters its ballistic phase. It falls back to Earth at extreme speeds, driven entirely by gravity. This physics-driven definition applies to systems like the ATACMS and the Precision Strike Missile, or PrSM. These specific weapons are tactical ballistic missiles. They execute their parabolic flight path within a localized regional theater. By foregoing maneuverability in favor of extreme terminal velocity, ballistic weapons become the most difficult kinetic threats to intercept. Reviewing the complete taxonomy provides a structured view of these complex weapon systems. Missile classification relies on a precise intersection of flight profile, launch vector, and target domain. The sustained aerodynamic flight of a cruise missile occupies one end of the spectrum, while the gravity-driven kinetic drop of a ballistic missile occupies the other. Tactical combat missiles bridge different operational domains, while air defense arrays provide the reactive architecture to counter them. Applying this taxonomic framework organizes a vast array of military hardware into a legible technical matrix.
Dua. Hmm.